My name is Lena. I'm 28, and if you look at my life from the outside, it looks fine. Actually, more than fine. I have a stable job. My apartment is always clean. Maybe a little too clean. And I'm with someone who does everything right. His name is Daniel. He's kind. The kind of person who texts when he gets home. Who remembers how I take my coffee. Who never forgets things. Even small ones. He doesn't get angry. He doesn't disappear. He doesn't make promises he can't keep. And for a long me, I thought, this is exactly what I need. Something calm, something safe. But lately, I don't know. Sometimes I sit next to him and I catch myself just staring, not at him, past him, like I'm waiting for something to happen, and nothing does. Everything is just quiet, not peaceful, just quiet. And I tell myself, this is normal. This is what people want. No drama, no chaos. So I don't say anything. I smile. I nod. I keep going. And most days, I convince myself it's enough. And all that night, I remember the time exactly. 9:12 p.m. The doorbell rang. I almost ignored it. I even looked at my phone first, like maybe it would stop, but it didn't. So I got up, walked to the door, slowly. I don't know why, but something felt off. Like that feeling you get right before something changes. I held the handle for a second. Then I opened it, and I forgot how to breathe. Ethan was standing there. After a year, no message, no warning. Just there, looking at me like he wasn't sure if I was real. And suddenly, everything I thought I had left behind was right in front of me again. Ethan wasn't just someone I used to know. He was everything for a while. We were together for almost 3 years. And with him, nothing was ever in the middle. It was either really good or really hard. We laughed a lot. Like stupid random things that didn't even make sense later. But because we didn't know how to say it, he had big plans. Always new ideas every week. I'll figure it out, he used to say. Just give me a little time. And I did. I gave him me. A lot of it. At first it felt exciting. Like we were building something from nothing. Like one day we'd look back and laugh about how hard it was. But slowly, that feeling changed. Jobs he left. Promises that sounded good but didn't last. I didn't stop loving him. That wasn't the problem. The problem was, I started getting red. Not of him, just red of waiting. Waiting for things to feel stable. Waiting to feel safe. I remember one night, we were sitting on the floor. No lights on, just talking. Or trying to. And I said it, not even loud. I don't think I can do this anymore. He looked at me like he didn't understand the sentence. I'm trying, he said. I know, I told him. And I meant that too. But I need something real now. That word stayed between us. Real. He didn't argue, didn't shout. He just went quiet. And that silence felt like the end. He left that night. No drama. No big goodbye. Just a door closing. And me sitting there trying to believe I did the right thing. And for a long me, I told myself I did. But sometimes, even now, I still catch myself thinking, was I too early? Or was I already too late? For a few seconds, we just stood there. Me inside, him outside. Like neither of us knew what the next step was supposed to be. You going to let me stand here all night? He said. His voice was so careful, not the way it used to be. I blinked. Oh, right, I said, stepping back. Sorry. He walked in slowly, like he didn't want to take up too much space. Like this wasn't his place anymore, which it wasn't. I closed the door behind him. The sound felt louder than it should have. So I said, not really knowing how to start, you said you had something? Yeah, he nodded. He lighted a small notebook. Old. The cover slightly bent. My chest tightened immediately. You kept that? I asked. I didn't mean to, he said. It just stayed with me. I took it from his hand. My fingers brushed his for a second. Just a second. And then everything went dark. The lights, the hallway, the whole apartment. Wait, what? I said. I reached for the switch. Nothing. Ethan let out a small breath. Power's out, he said. Looks like the whole building. I walked to the window. The streetlights were off too, cars moving slowly outside. Everything felt paused. This happens sometimes? He asked. Not really, I said. I turned back. He was standing near the door, one hand on the handle, like he still planned to leave. You won't see anything out there, I said. The stairwell gets really dark. He hesitated, then opened the door slightly, looked out, closed it again. Yeah, you're right. He stepped back, ran a hand through his hair. I'll just wait a bit, if that's okay. I nodded. Yeah, it's fine. More than fine. And that thought made me uncomfortable. I moved toward the kitchen. I think I have candles somewhere, I said. I opened a drawer, moved things around, found one, then another. My hands were slower than usual, like I was trying not to rush, like I was trying to understand what this moment was. I lit the candle, a small flame, so unsteady. The room changed instantly, warmer, quieter, closer. I turned around. Ethan was watching me, not intensely, not in a strange way, just watching. Like he remembered this version of me, or maybe like he never forgot. This feels weird, I said. He gave a small smile. Yeah, he replied. A Leela too familiar. And that word, familiar, led somewhere deep in my chest, because it wasn't just the room, or the light. It was us, and I wasn't sure if that was a good thing. The candlelight made everything so, even the silence. It didn't feel awkward anymore, just unfamiliar, in a strange way. Like we both knew this version of each other, but hadn't seen it in a long me. You still keep everything in the same place? He asked. I glanced at the drawer. Half open, mostly, I said. I like knowing where things are. He nodded. Yeah, you always did. That small detail, the way he said it, like he remembered things I forgot I showed him. It did something to me. I turned back to the counter, opened the fridge. There wasn't much inside. Do you want something? I asked. I can make something simple. He leaned slightly against the wall. Like what? Eggs? I said. Maybe toast, if it doesn't burn. Say what? That it might burn? I let out a small breath. Move, he said gently. I'll do it. I hesitated, then stepped aside, not because I had to, but because it felt easier than saying no. He moved around the kitchen slowly, careful, not touching too much, but still knowing where things were, like muscle memory. He reached for the pan without asking, found the salt, turned the stove on, all small things, but they weren't small to me, because Daniel never cooked here, not like this. Not like he belonged. I leaned back against the counter, watching him, trying not to. But still watching. You've done this before, I said. That landed quietly, but it stayed. He cracked the eggs. We stood close again, not touching, but close enough to notice. His movements were slower now, steadier, not rushed like before, not distracted. And for a moment, just a moment, it felt like me folded. Like nothing really changed. Like we were just us. Again, we sat down with the food. Same small table. Same positions. I didn't realize at NEL we were already sitting. Do you ever think about it? He asked. I didn't look up. Think about what? Direct. I swallowed slowly. Took my me. Bought myself a few seconds. Sometimes, I said. Quiet. Honest. Too honest. He didn't smile. Didn't react much. Just nodded, like he expected that. Or maybe, like he hoped for it. We kept eating, but something had shattered again. The space between us felt smaller. The silence felt louder. And I realized something I didn't want to admit. Being here with him didn't feel wrong. It felt easy. And that was the part that scared me. We sat there for a while, not talking much, just being in the same space again. "You're seeing someone?" he said. I nodded. "Yeah." He looked at his plate. "Is he good to you?" I didn't think much. "He is." That part was easy. Then he asked, "Are you happy?" That one took longer. "I'm okay," I said. He let out a small breath. "You always say that when you're not." I looked up at him. "You don't know that anymore." "Maybe," he said, "but you don't look okay." I didn't answer, because I didn't want to argue, and I didn't want to agree either. "You look red," he added. I gave a small laugh. "I work a lot. That's not what I mean." Silence. I knew what he meant, and I didn't like that he could still see it. "You've changed," I said quickly, trying to shift. He nodded. "Yeah, why?" I asked. He didn't answer right away, just looked at the candle, then back at me. "Because I had to," he said. A pause. Then, "Because I lost you." That landed. Harder than I expected. I looked away, picked at the edge of the table. Anything to avoid his eyes. "I didn't come here to mess things up," he added. "I just wanted to see you." I nodded slowly, but inside things were already moving, and I wasn't sure I could stop it. We were quiet again, but it didn't feel the same. There was something building now, something we couldn't ignore. "I didn't just come to return the notebook," he said. I looked at him. "What do you mean?" He leaned back slightly, took a breath. "I've been working for a while now." I frowned. "Working?" He nodded. "Same place. Almost a year." That made me pause. "A year?" "Yeah." No hesitation. No over-explaining. Just steady. "I didn't quit," he added. I didn't change my mind. I watched him closely, trying to find the old version of him, but it wasn't there. "I got my own place too," he said. "Nothing big, but it's stable." Stable, that word again? One I used to repeat to him over and over. "I pay my bills on me," he added with a small smile. "Show up every day." I almost smiled back. Almost. "Why are you telling me this?" I asked. He held my gaze this me, no looking away. "Because you were right," he said. That hit deeper than anything else. I wasn't ready before. A pause. Then, "I am now." Silence. Heavy. Dangerous. Because this was the version of him I waited for. The one I asked for. The one I let him for. And now he was sitting in front of me, like nothing was missing anymore. "I changed," he said quietly. "Not for anyone else." A small pause. "For you." My chest tightened, because for a second, just a second, I didn't know what to say. "So why do I feel like I'm the one who moved on?" That landed between us. Quiet. Heavy. "I learned how to live without you," I said. "How to not depend on you. How to not feel. Unstable all to me." My voice so ended. "And now being here with you again, it feels like going backwards." He shook his head slightly. "It's not backwards. I changed." "I know," I said quickly. "Or what to feel?" And that scared me more than anything. Part 7. Internal conflict, 11:30 to 13 o'clock. I looked at him, then looked away, because it was too much, too fast. This was what I wanted, wasn't it? I let out a small breath, and I thought I'd be happy. I shook my head. "But I'm not." He frowned slightly. "I don't understand." "Yeah," I said. "Me neither." I crossed my arms. "More for comfort than anything else. When I was with you." A pause. "So why do I feel like I'm the one who moved on?" That landed between us. Quiet. Heavy. "I learned how to live without you," I said. "How to not depend on you. How to not feel. Unstable all to me." My voice so ended. "And now being here with you again, it feels like going backwards." He shook his head slightly. "It's not backwards. I changed." "I know," I said quickly. "And hoped." I swallowed, because saying it out loud made it real. Not anymore. It was about me, and that made it harder to fix. The candle was almost gone. The flame kept shaking. I looked at him. "I still love you," I said. It came out before I could stop it. His eyes changed. "I don't think that's enough anymore." Silence. "I'm not the same," I said. I built something stable. I thought about Daniel. Calm, predictable, safe, with you. I don't feel safe, I said slowly. Even now. He nodded slowly. I get it. No argument. I wish she came back like this before, I said. He looked down. Yeah, me too. A small pause. Then I stepped back. I think I should stay where I am. He looked at me. Are you sure? I hesitated. Just for a second. Then, yes. Stopped for a moment. Take care, Lena. You too. And that was it. He left. The door closed. The lights came back on. Everything looked normal again. Clean, quiet, the same as before. But I stood there, holding that notebook, knowing one thing for sure. Sometimes people come back changed. But you don't. And that's why it ends.